We are going to brighten eyes today in Photoshop. I've got 2 or 3 steps for you, and you can stop at any one depending on just how bright and clear you want these eyes. Let's zoom into these eyes here. There, I chose her because she's got such beautiful blue eyes. I'm going to choose my dodge tool, and what the dodge tool does is it lightens colors or shadows or whatever you want it to lighten. If she had brown eyes, I would choose shadows, but I'm going to choose midtones for her color. My exposure is at 26, and it usually is. And I'm just going to hold down here, do it again here. And now this eye is lighter because of all the light coming in, so I'm going to do it one more time on this side to make it a little more even. And then I am going to choose my burn tool. And this is for the pupil here. I've got shadows, and it's always shadows. And my exposure is at 17. I usually click this pupil like twice, maybe 3 times, maybe 1 time. It just depends. Again, this pupil is a little lighter, so I'm going to click 1 extra time on this one. Now, a lot of times this ring doesn't show up quite as well on eyes, so I will make my dodge tools or my burn tool smaller, and I will make that darker as well. But hers shows up really well, and we can get to a point where we burn it too much and then it doesn't look real anymore, and we want it to be natural. You can stop at this step. We've already brightened her eyes, but I like to take it 1 step further, especially with children or close-ups. So I'm going to choose to select her eyes in quick mask mode. This is my favorite selection tool. You can use whatever selection tool you want. If you choose this selection tool, get your brush, make sure your opacity is at 100%, and just color her eyes in. I got a little bit on the white here. I'm just going to erase that. Okay, so I'm going to click out of quick mask, and then I'm going to see here it has selected everything that I didn't color, and I want to invert that. So Control Shift I. So now I've chosen the eyes, and with this selection I am going to go to Filter, Camera Raw Filter. I want to make it very clear, so I'm going to bump up my clarity. And when you bump up clarity, things get a little darker, and we want her eyes to shine, not hide. So depending on what you have, you need to bump up your exposure a little. So I'm going to do a 0.10 right here. And if you get out of it and it's too dark, go back in it. Or if it's too bright, undo it and redo it. Whatever you have to do. I'm going to go over here to detail and bump up my sharpness. I want it to be very sharp. Okay, so she's got really sharp and bright eyes now. I'm going to undo this selection. Now, I do this so often that I've created my own action where you can just hit play, click eyes, and it'll do all that for you. So that's always an option as well. So I'm going to back out, and that's beautiful. I can really see her eyes. They're really shining. Now, also, one more step that you can do if you want to continue on, and typically with this one, I don't think I would do it. Because her eyes here are very white as it is, but just to show you what I have had to do. Some people's eyes are very yellow, very red, or very dark, whatever it is. So if I do want to whiten her eyes a little, you have to be very careful so it doesn't look like you've whitened their eyes. So I usually have my opacity at 5 for that, and I have my color at white, and I color those in there. Okay, so that's not too bad. So there you go. Her eyes are nice and bright, and it really draws you into her face there. So that is how I brighten eyes in Photoshop.